USC football loses a game-breaking talent who suspiciously never broke open a game. Meanwhile, UCLA football steadily takes advantage of the transfer portal, and get your scuba gear. We're going to do a deep dive into the Lakers and the trade market. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is December 18th, 2024. Tons to talk about this morning while I am stuck in Portland. By the way, we added a new subscriber to the Angeleno Familia yesterday. And it is true, I am honestly grateful for every last one of you. But I now have 666 subscribers. 666. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because that number has my inner Catholic staring at the fiery depths of hell. Just saying. Meanwhile, if you like being in the know about LA sports, click and clack the like button. Click and clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist, and by all means, comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. Pittsburgh 3, Kings 2 in overtime. Vladislav Gavrikov, the very singable name of Vladislav Gavrikov, assisted on both goals. 18th ranked UCLA 111, Prairie View A&M 75. Hard to believe a school with such a profound basketball history as Prairie View was no match for the 18th ranked team in the nation. Stunning, I know. Dylan Andrews scored 21 for the Bruins. Meanwhile, today, Cal State Northridge is at USC basketball at 7 o'clock. Woo, pinch me. Can't wait. Let's get to the news. Once again, college football analysts are up in arms. If you have arms, yes, they should be up if you analyze college football. Because USC wide receiver Zachariah Branch and his brother Zion, who plays safety, have both entered the transfer portal, according to multiple media outlets. The belief is that they will go as a package deal to the new school. Zachariah, obviously considered to be the bigger hit to the program of the two, because he's a sophomore, and we were all told, oh my gosh, physical freak, capable of just one explosive play after another. Man, that guy is a touchdown waiting to happen. The preseason publications all assured us, just touchdowns, touchdowns, touchdowns. We all want touchdowns, don't we? No doubt about it. He will give us what we want. And he had one touchdown. One. This last year. Now, you can take this news story and use it to condemn Lincoln Riley all you want. But at what point does this come on the players? You know, it reminds me of Brad Pitt. If you've ever seen the movie Moneyball, he was playing the general manager of the Oakland A's, and he's looking across all his minor leaguers, and he looks at this one that's being hyped up, and he's like, if he's a good hitter, why doesn't he hit good? Right? Oh, all the amazing sophomore wide receivers that the USC Trojans had last year. The future was so bright. Not one of them panned. Just an overwhelming cadre of speed and skill. All the speeds, all the skills with a Z. At first, it was supposed to be Branch, ripping off just one big plays, not just as a receiver, but as a return threat. One touchdown. Then no. It's okay. Lemon is an extra piece to the puzzle. It's Mekhi Lemon. There's your big receiver for USC. Nope. And then because the guy had one good game, a terrific game, it was going to be Jacoby Lane. Headlines blared. Jacoby Lane, truly the next great USC receiver. And then he fell off the map, literally like if the earth was flat. The scribes covering USC, meanwhile, going back to Branch, they're sitting there watching the game and they're writing, why isn't Branch getting separation from the defensive backs? Then you watch games on TV. You are hearing TV analysts, people who actually play the game, say, these guys run lazy routes. Now, then they go, wait a minute, wait. Okay, maybe not as a receiver, but Branch can turn any game around as a special team returner. And then he loses the gig to Mekhi Lemon. So what am I trying to tell you? This isn't as massive a loss as people are trying to make it out to be. Because you can call it devastating, and I'm sitting there looking at, because the LA Times called it devastating, and I'm looking at it going, what's devastating is that they did not perform when they had chance after chance after chance. Maybe, just maybe, the USC roster needs some thinning out because they have players who aren't trying. Nobody wants to write about that. They'd rather write about how much they don't like Lincoln Riley. Look, for Riley's offense to work, the receivers have to know that they cannot take plays off. If everybody goes into the play full bore, you could get the ball at any time. And how do we know this? Because Jordan Addison came to USC after having already won the Biletnikoff Award for the best receiver in college ball, and his receiving numbers went down. Why? Because Caleb Williams was dishing the ball off to everybody. Now, with me having ranted about all that, you might want to challenge me, and that's fine. Totally cool. You can say, James, you're defending Lincoln Riley a lot. To which I would reply in two ways. Number one, how did the Trojans lose this year? Did they make a bunch of stupid, idiotic mistakes? No. That was the Clay Helton era of unparalleled stupidity. This team simply had a beefed up schedule and a roster that wasn't beefed up. USC did not play stupid football. They did not match up well. They needed their players to play to their potential. Two, you do realize that Lincoln Riley added more than just quarterbacks to the NFL, right? For all the talk about all the quarterbacks Lincoln Riley sent to the NFL, he also sends a lot of wide receivers there. More than Jordan Addison. Has anybody ever heard of C.D. Lamb? Anybody? C.D. Lamb? Plays for Dallas? What about Marquise Brown, who totally lit up the NFL last season? Not to mention Brendan Rice, Taj Washington, all of them gone to the NFL. If USC was goofing around on the field like they did under Clay Helton, I would totally have your back saying Lincoln Riley got to go. But this isn't a case, in my opinion, of bad coaching. This is, in my opinion, a case of deadwood needing to be cut loose. And if he winds up blowing up for the next school, cool. But so far, I've seen a number of people who have left SC in the transfer portal. I don't see a lot of them blowing up. Not since Lincoln Riley took over. Jackson Dart, I'll give you that. Tell me the others. By the way, offensive line was a sore spot for the Trojans. Offensive line coach Josh Henson is now leaving. He is going to take the offensive coordinator job over at Purdue. Now, if you're looking for good news for an LA college, UCLA has been steadily adding players to their credit. Give credit where it's due. Cortland Ford is a former USC offensive lineman, spent a couple of years with Kentucky before he got homesick. Also, edge rusher Keio Akana is transferring in from Utah, along with safeties Key Lawrence, formerly of Ole Miss, and Brian Threats from Central Florida. I think overall there have been 8 newcomers to the Bruins in the portal. Now, having said that, UCLA also lost a featu players, in corner Jalen Davies, offensive lineman Tavake Tuikolovatu, and punter Chase Berry. So, better news at UCLA, but we need to see how many players they add and how they all fit in before we give the final letter grade, right? At least they're doing the work. Mentioned it yesterday. We spend a lot of time shooting down bloggers and their clickbait rumors about LA teams because, you got the Dodgers and the Lakers two of the most popular sports franchises on the globe. And as a result, even when the Lakers are mediocre, which at this point they are, anyone is available to go to the Lakers. So saith the crabby little wordsmiths online. Hey, is a player disgruntled with his team? He's going to get traded to the Lakers. Is this player on the run from the law, but he can at least shoot threes? Yep, he's going to get traded to the Lakers. So I bring this up because 3 days ago it marked the unofficial start to the NBA trade season, and there are going to be so many trash rumors that are going to be fired at you. It's like all the trash being crammed into a cannon, pointed in the direction of Laker fans. Oh, these hot rumors are all going to come true, and then they fire them right in your face. So what I want to do is hit the pause button and give you the baseline of what to know going into trade season. Okay? We're going to start with the obvious points. The Lakers need to make a change. They are likely to make a change according to multiple sources around the league. But they also have multiple needs, so it probably can't be solved with one move. Now, all of this was true last year, and the Lakers didn't make a move. Keep in mind, when you read all of these hot Laker rumors, none of them happened last year. None of them. Also, General Manager Rob Pelinka said he wanted 30 games to evaluate the team. They've played 26. Game 30, if you are wondering, is the Christmas Day game. So I wouldn't expect anything until after Christmas. Then, also for the baseline, the market, there are more buyers than sellers. And of course there would. Season's not even halfway done. So why would you sell when you've got plenty of season left? So those are the basics. The Lakers have needs. They did last year. They didn't make a move. Pelinka wants at least 30 games, so we're waiting until after Christmas at least. And there are more buyers than sellers. Baseline. So, what would the Lakers want? Well, the first thing you should do if you're reading all these rumors, just immediately throw all the big names off the edge. They're not getting Jimmy Butler. It's highly doubtful they do that. It's highly doubtful they go after Brandon Ingram. They already had the guy. What is more likely? More likely, in descending order. First priority, a center. Doesn't have to be an offensive guy either. They have that in Anthony Davis, but they would like a center. Number 2, a 3-and-D guy who, unlike the ones that they have now, are taller. Third, upgraded guard. Now they don't need all three, but in descending order of importance, center, 3-and-D big, and playmaking guard. So, in yesterday's clip, we mentioned Washington's Jonas Valanciunas because LeBron James was willing to take a pay cut to get the guy last summer. Now, he is a center, not that nimble, but he is very physical. And I would rather have his 12 points a game and shift Davis and LeBron James around because Gabe Vincent or Max Christie and their single digits a game average ain't cutting it. You're also going to hear a lot, if they don't go and get that center, you're going to hear a lot about Dorian Finney-Smith, who is a 3-and-D wing over at Brooklyn. Those are two names you're going to hear about a lot. You're also going to hear names from Utah and from Portland. So again, center, 3-and-D wing, playmaking guard. What can the Lakers send out? They have first-round picks in 2029, 30, and 31. Those picks are so far in the future, they won't be due until after the world has finally stopped talking about Donald Trump. That's how far off in the future those picks are. They also have 4 mid-level contracted players in D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Vincent, the currently injured Jared Vanderbilt. They also have small contracts to match in terms of salary cap relief for other teams. What do other teams want? That's where it gets tricky because they damn sure don't want D'Angelo Russell. They don't. They want Austin Reeves and at least 2 draft picks. If that sounds familiar, you're absolutely right. That is the same rabbit hole that the Lakers fell into last year. Now, maybe teams would want Dalton Knecht. Maybe teams would want Max Christie. So, you throw all of that into the hopper, and what do you get? Well, we know they got to be patient. Again, 30 games. So we're probably talking January at a minimum before anything is even considered. I also don't think wing is much of a priority now. Why? Because Jared Vanderbilt might be able to get healthy and play. And also, if Christie does have trade value, he's not eligible to be dealt until January 15th. In other words, if I'm thinking anything, I'm probably thinking big man, the center. But that's only a prediction. That's a half-assed prediction at best. I'm telling you, with all of that stuff, to brace yourself for a lot of misinformation, fake news, pick whatever political cliche you enjoy. Major League Baseball released a study as to why pitchers get injured. Brace yourself for a shocker. It's velocity and stuff. Yeah, stuff. Stuff hurts. But there were notes that I found interesting. The study showed that pitching injuries, both minor and more serious, spiked during the spring, at least suggesting that pitchers aren't properly prepared for the start of the season. The report also states that pitchers at a professional level, this is really interesting to me, are, quote, at least somewhat aware, unquote, of the injury risks, but they choose to hurt themselves. They choose the more dangerous style, quote, because they perceive that the rewards outweigh the risks, particularly in the near term, unquote. Now, this goes along with something the Dodgers' Walker Buehler said last year, because he was trying to rebuild his career after a second Tommy John surgery. Said, hey, either I do this and I get paid, or I don't do this and I might get cut. Now, as for what can be done to keep pitchers from having their arms spontaneously combust, the report was like, derp. So, no answers a-coming. Tyler Higbee has been activated from injured reserve by the Rams. Last year, the guy appeared in 15 games, caught 47 passes on 70 targets, a couple of touchdowns. Then a Lions defensive back cheap shot at his knees, so there's that. An alleged NHL insider named Frank Saravalli, who works for Sportsnet, claims the Kings are talking to the Flyers about a trade for a forward. The Kings could use a right-handed shooter. Saravalli excluded Travis Konechny and Tyson Forrester. That leaves the possibilities of Morgan Frost, Joel Farabee, Scott Lawton, and Bobby Brink. Got to give credit where it's due. When Liam Cohen left the Rams after 1 year as Rams offensive coordinator, for the first time when he was there, the Rams offense looked absolutely incompetent. Didn't know what the hell they were doing. The team finishes 5-12. Cohen leaves the Rams for the college game, and all of a sudden the Rams look like the Rams again. But apparently Cohen is not an idiot. Guess who was the offensive coordinator for Tampon Bay when they humiliated the Chargers over the weekend? Liam Cohen. Angel City FC has finally signed somebody from outside the club, which surprised the hell out of me. Welcome forward Julie Dufour, who made 8 appearances for the French national team last year. She scored 19 goals in 41 matches for Paris FC over 2 years. Angel City needs scoring. Whether this means a formation change, I have no idea. Finally, I approve of petty behavior. I am in Portland. I wear Galaxy gear wherever I go while I'm at work. Very petty, I know. There is a preseason tournament for MLS teams that takes place in Inland Empire out in the desert. It's called Goalachella. Get it? Goalachella? Anyway, it's put together by the Galaxy, The 20 teams were listed that are going. One of them is LAFC, which in the press release would not call it Coachella because everybody would associate that to the Galaxy. Instead, they decided to call it the Coachella Valley Invitational. Now look, by no means do I root for LAFC, obviously. But when it comes to being petty, I see you working, LAFC. Totally see you working. Credit where it's due. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me, for example, about losing Zachariah Branch over at SC, or for that matter, are you having optimism with what UCLA is doing? And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. Man, we talk a lot of LA sports here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Cortel Queso production. Take care.